And if you guys don't know, one of the main reasons why I want to bring Dave on, too, is Dave actually attended both shows that just happened. So there was a Wedding MBA show we talked about a couple weeks ago that was happening in Vegas. Then he went to the DJ Collective and got to experience all of that again. So I figured, give us the down low on, your favorite parts of the show, maybe which show you like better, maybe put you, in this, against the wall with that and get you in trouble. We can get all the deets. Give me all the deets.
So Wedding MBA this is the first time I was there. I have not been to Wedding MBA previously. Wedding MBA, from what I could tell, on all facets, whether it be DJs or planners or photographers, and it's all sorts of wedding professionals, is a much broader range of talent. So you have people that are very, high level, like experience, been doing this for a long time. And then you have very entry level people that are just starting out. So you have a big wide gap there. So as both a speaker and, if you're being educated, it's kind of can be a little difficult because some of the educations may be a little more higher level. Some of the educations may be a little more mid-level and some's, a little entry level because you have such a wide demographic there. The thing I like about DJ Collective better is that DJ Collective is a very specific target demographic. Like the DJs at DJ Collective have been DJing for over 10 years. They all have kind of a successful company. So they're going there for like the higher level of education. So,
gotcha.
I would
No
definitely
fluff.
say, yeah. And I would definitely say, do not go to DJ Collective if you're, like an entry-level DJ, if you're just learning to mix, if you've had a company for, a year and a half, get your feet wet a little more because, there's definitely a lot of in-between education things you need to learn before you get to that level. Wedding MBA had a lot more DJs than I expected. I've been told that the last year or two, last year was virtual, but that it's been getting a little more DJ heavy, that there have been more DJs out there, which was, I guess, not the case in the past. It was more planners and photographers. So Mike Walter was out there, Dan Quinn from Dallas, a lot of guys from around the country. So I saw a lot of familiar faces out there. Hapa spoke at the conference. Dan spoke. Mike
cool.
spoke. It was cool. They had an exhibit hall, a gigantic exhibit hall floor there. And
what's in that exhibit hall? Because I didn't go when I went. It's just
it really wasn't a ton of DJ stuff. Like Toad was there with like Toad booths and a few things like that. But you're not going to have like a Rain booth or a Pioneer booth like you used to have at DJ Expo. In fact, you didn't even have. There was a DJ Expo this year. So there was a lot of photo booths there. There was definitely a lot of photo booths.
True.
There was a lot of floral there, wedding dresses.
Yeah, because I went there. I walked in. That's all I saw was floral wedding dresses. I was like, ugh, it's like a bridal show in here. And I walked right out. I didn't even go any further deeper. I'm like, that looks dumb. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm in Vegas. There's things to do. One thing I did notice when I went to Wedding MBA was...
I got this great... Wait, I got to show you. I got this great gift bag here. So...
Oh, wow. What's that mean?
So it means wedding and party network.
Stop.
So,
did you make that up?
Yes. No. So if you can see here, I'm like trying to, okay, weddingandpartynetwork.com. So this is a company that was clearly around prior to Cardi B coming up with the acronym that she came up with. And this was, WAP was apparently their thing long before it meant something else.
They must have been pissed.
But I mean, normally I'm not the type of person that's grabbing like little gift bags like this. But when I saw one and it just said WAP, WAP, WAP all over it, I had to.
And from a distance, all you can see is it says WAP professional, like wet ass pussy professional. You gonna wear that with pride, Dave? But like, what's cool about the Wedding MBA that I noticed though is that like, if it's your vibe, like there's nothing like it's 100% education based. Like it's not, there's nothing else like Wedding MBA. They don't advertise like come here because we got a cool party we're doing, cool nightlife thing, cool. You get to meet this person, this thing. Like it's literally 100% education. So anybody that goes to Wedding MBA, no matter what vendor they are, DJ or whatever else, they're all serious about their shit. They're going just for the education. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause like that's all there is there. There's nothing, you come here, you learn, you go to school, and then you leave. That's it,
Right. And I will say all of these conferences, part of what's great too is just walking around, talking to people, whether it's on the exhibit hall floor, in the hallways, at dinners afterwards. I know that I found out a few things from Gabriel out in California about programming on my Astera Pixel tubes. Okay. There were some things that I didn't know about the programming and light intensities and some of the settings, some of the deeper settings in the program. And we were just BSing on the show floor, and the topic came up, and I literally pulled out my app and on my phone, and he showed me things. So there's a lot of those dope, just kind of off the cuff, unplanned conversations that happen at any conference that you can really learn from.
And if you guys don't remember, really that's cool. The basura guy. That's Gabriel's the basura guy we had on the show when he went on that Evolve 50 rant. That was like fantastic. One for the ages. We're gonna bring that video back for the 1 year anniversary special. That was a great.
Every time I see a garbage can that is in a multilingual area and it says basura on it, I think of you.
It's too funny, man. So, tell me about the collective. What went down?
So the collective went down from Monday. They had these master classes, which were these 2-hour, extra classes that you could add on. I didn't take any. I didn't teach any. I just kind of got in and hung on Monday. Tuesday morning, it was fun. We did this 2 years ago. We had like a DJ basketball game. So we actually had about 20 people show up. So first we played like the half court, like the sideways, hoops, like 4-on-4 games. And then we had like a big main full court game at the very end. So that was fun. A very, it's just having fun with people you don't see very often. But yeah, so we had the DJ basketball game. Then Tuesday in the daytime was all like quote unquote main stage speakers. So everyone was in one room. So I spoke on Tuesday. They had speakers from the Knot Wedding Pro on Tuesday. They had several different speakers that were more motivational, inspirational, some of which were not specifically DJ related. But they had Jesse Itzler. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he was go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because you sent me shit from him, so now I am. Like, he was pretty, he's an interesting fella, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, so he was basically someone that just kind of like, he was that dude that would not take no for an answer in life, and really made his way through, I guess he owned a company that rented out private jets to like, celebrities, and now he's married to the owner of Spanx, and I guess he's a kind of a motivational speaker now is like his big thing. But he just really kind of worked his way through life and accomplished a lot without really having, wasn't a guy that had connected parents, but he was just determined. Really, it was a story of determination, and he was a great speaker. Then we had Jazzy Jeff. They had like a Q&A that Janai did, Jason Janai with Jazzy Jeff, just kind of sitting Jazzy Jeff down and just talking with him. One of the very, I guess, potent things that he said that I'm well aware of, but I think some people aren't. He said that even at his level now, he still considers himself a student. He still considers himself someone that's always learning. And I feel that way, but I think some people don't get that. I think some people don't get that, they think that they've reached the pinnacle and they don't have anything else to learn. And that's an important message, that you do always have something else to learn. So my speech on Tuesday was about branding, but it was kind of a unique take on branding. My take on it was not about like logo colors or fonts or things like that. It was really like a deeper dive look into the fact that, everything about your business is your brand. Your logo just represents that. But, whether you're a DJ that uses turntables or a controller, like that's part of my brand is that I use turntables. And trust me, like there are gigs I have where I'd love to go out and buy a controller and do an, gig that's, not a super bougie gig where a lot of people are going to be watching me. I'd love to use a controller here and there, but I realize it's part of my brand that I use turntables. So I don't do that, I mean, your setup, if you're a DJ that has all white speakers, that's part of your brand. Whether or not you kind of incorporate your family into social media or your social media is just business as part of your brand. So I kind of took a deeper dive look into branding in my speech. And then that night there was a party where they had ADMC, Caper, and Jazzy Jeff all played like back to back. So yeah, three sets in a row, and that was a pretty crazy evening.
They're so good, all of them. That's like no joke. I do like how like the collective brings out a lot of people. There was a lot of speakers I saw that were outside of the industry, that they weren't DJs, but they just gave an interesting perspective that would apply to anybody. You know what I mean? And it's not just because like I think that's one thing that conferences beat to death, like DJ conferences. It's just nothing but DJ speaking on the same fucking shit over and over again. Like, it's just it's insane. Like I think that it's really cool that collective like brings in these are very like well-known people too. Like that one dude you're talking about, like he's got a couple 100,000 followers and the blue check mark on Instagram. Like he's a pretty big guy. He's not just a regular, you know what I mean? Like I think that's like something that nobody's doing, like literally nobody, like at the other conferences. So I applaud them for that.
Yeah.
Well, Midwest DJs Live brings some people in too, though. Their Midwest DJs Live is like really, that's one of the greatest shows I've ever. That's probably Midwest DJs Live is probably the best show I've ever been to because I've never been to the collective. I got to give them that. They are great, but like everyone else is kind of the same shit. Okay.
I was gonna say it's one of the only ones I've never been to, so I'll have to put that on my list to check it out. So
they run a great show, man. It's in Milwaukee in April. They do a really good job.
I know Mitch Taylor, who I believe is one of the main coordinators of that show. So I do know Mitch, but So DJ Collective. I mean, on the main, so Tuesday and Thursday were the 2 days they had like the quote unquote main stage, which basically means everybody's in the same room at the same time. And of those both days, there was like the fireside chat with Jazzy Jeff. And then there was me and Kristen Wilson from Orlando. And we were the only three, quote unquote, DJ speakers. They usually have some people there from like the Knot, Wedding Pro, and they'll talk about specifics, what social medias are brides and grooms, using now, and what are the average ages, and, what are they looking for? And if you're putting out a video and you don't convey something to them in the first 7 seconds of the video, they're going to scroll on and look at a different video because that's all the attention span. They like cool stuff like that. And I'll be honest, having gone to Collective since 2018, that information, it changes very quickly nowadays. And the information from 2018 to 2021, which is only 3 collectives away because there wasn't one in 2020, is actually very updated. So, there's definitely cool information you can garner from those people. And like they literally will bring in, like with the Knot and Wedding Wire and Wedding Pro, it's literally the people that like run their speakers and their seminars for the entire country. Like it's the people that are normally hiring people below them to speak, but they're literally coming to DJ Collective, to speak to us. So
that's crazy.
Definitely very high level. The one speaker we had too, just kind of did some meditation, and we did breathing exercises, which is something, I'm sure some people are very into and some people have never done in their life. So, they definitely try to have some different experiences. And then Tuesday or Wednesday night, so Wednesday day, in the morning, they broke people up. You could pick either to go on like a health and wellness group, a performance group, or the third group was business. So you had your pick of which of these 3 tracks you would go on. Obviously, the business one was, handling more, numbers, marketing, business management, etc. Health and wellness was obviously, so many DJs have crazy schedules and, travel a lot. And sometimes you have family and don't get to spend as much time. I mean, it was really dealing with a lot of the, health and wellness aspects. And then the performance track, they had, which was the one I chose, they had 3 speakers in there. The first one was Rob Foray, and he talked about emceeing. The second one was Lauren Miller from Columbus, and he talked about a lot of actual music theory. He has a musician background. And then the third speaker was Drew Pierce from DMS from California, and he talked about video DJing, which something I don't do. I like it. I like watching it. I just don't. It's just not my thing to do. So so that was the morning, and then in the evening or afternoon sessions.
Well, real quick, Dave.
Broken up. Oh, sure.
You pick one track, but like, do you get access somehow to the other 2 tracks, or like you get one and that's it? Like, is there any way to like, for the people that go there, can they like see the other 2 they recorded or some shit, or?
So I'd honestly, I'd have to check into that, because I know that they did record a lot because they did like a virtual show this year. Cause the conference was capped out, like there was no more space. So I know they did virtual. So that's a good question, and I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that. If you can go on there and look those up or not. But that would be interesting, because I would have loved to have seen some of the stuff I missed. On one hand, it's cool that you can customize it. On the other hand, it's like you feel like, you might have 2 things going on that you want to hear at the same time. So and then the afternoon, they had a similar situation in the afternoon, except it was split up differently in the afternoon. There was one group for multi-ops, there was one group for solo ops, and then there was one group for number 2s, which are, basically like if you have a company, a lot of these bigger companies now, like the main headlining DJ or the person that used to be the main headlining DJ kind of more so runs the company and is like step back a little bit from actual DJing. And they usually have like a number 2, which has kind of become like the new headlining DJ of that company. So they actually put a group together, for those specific DJs in the afternoon. Now, I had 2 things
That's
I had
unique.
to perform at on Wednesday night. They had we had a mashup show, and we had an after party of the mashup show that Scooter and I were DJing. So I actually dipped out of Wednesday afternoon because I'd done some advanced prep, but I still had to do a little more last minute prep for those evening shows. So I kind of dipped out there, and I did not attend any of those as I was kind of prepping for the evening.
And quick update, Demand said they recorded audio from all the different tracks, but not video. So I just wonder if there's a way they distribute it to everybody. Like, that would be interesting. But yeah, that's cool. I like how you get to pick the tracks. I mean, the number 2 thing is a unique thing that, they don't really do at other conferences, man. Like, because it's a real thing. Like, there's a lot of people that don't own a company. Not every DJ, not every private event DJ owns their own company. Like myself included, Demand. Like, we work for SCE. You know what I mean? Like, there's Kevin. I know Kevin spoke for that. Kevin Garrity. He works for Clock, and he doesn't. So like, to look at things from that perspective, I think it's like super unique and definitely like useful. Some people are never going to own it. Like, I'm never going to own a company. I never want to do it. I wouldn't be able to make these videos. I wouldn't be able to do what I do online if I had to run an entire business. It's like, it's insane. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I'll always be like, like if something happened with SCE, I would just look to have another booking agent, because that's basically what SCE is. They're like booking agents. I just want an agent, like, handle my contracts, my bookings. That's it. Like, I don't want to deal with none of that. That's just how I am. So like, that's a track I would go to, like the number 2 type track, where it's like, because I don't want to hear about all this like, owning a company shit. Don't apply to me.
Speaking of Kevin, he actually proposed to his fiance at the end of his presentation. So
he did. Congrats to Kevin and Teddy. They are now engaged and getting married. Those 2, very, very cute. If you guys seen them on Twitch or whatever, definitely follow them. It was a very cute proposal.
So yeah, they got engaged. But yeah, he was one of the speakers. Nate Nelson from LaForce in Dallas.
Oh, true. That's another good one. Yep.
He's kind of in a very similar situation there. So yeah, I thought that was a cool track they did. And then the night parties, I guess, on Wednesday were super fun. The first thing we did was a mashup show, and basically there were.
It was a competition, right?
So yeah, I mean they don't crown a winner. I mean they have judges, but it's more like a friendly competition. They don't say at the end like this person won or that person won.
Because it was this one the one dude I didn't know won. I thought there was a winner. It was the what was his name? I forget his name
Volume?
now. I didn't know.
It might have been Volume from DJ Mr. Volume from South Florida.
Maybe that's it. Because because it was the one guy I didn't know. I knew everybody else in it. Like I knew you and Mike V and all them.
Mike Villa, Scooter, and Drew Pierce, and Mr.
Yeah, so it had to have been Volume. Yeah, yep.
So yeah, but yeah, no, they didn't like there wasn't an official winner at the end, but it was fun. Basically, the concept is that we're doing these just super crazy out there mashups. I mean, Scooter had a mashup that was like. It was like the Golden Girls theme song over, I think, Best Friend by Sweetie. Like it was, I had Dreams and Nightmares over Maniac by Michael Sambello. Like it's just, just out there stuff, but that's fun. And so the crowd really reacts to it well. And I don't know if you've ever met Rob Foray, but Rob Foray hosted
many times. Love Rob.
Rob's hysterical.
He's
super quick on his feet. I got
to get him on this show. He's a character. Rob is one of those people. Like I met him. I never met anybody like you in my whole life, man. You were one of a kind. He is so funny. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Rob. I got to get Rob on the show. He's from Utah. If you guys don't know, follow him, or whatever. Look him up. He's a great MC. Yeah. He actually hosts a lot of, he's like a host. Like he does all kinds of seminars all over. He's like a professional seminar giver. Like he speaks at legit like spots, like not even DJ spots, like outside of our industry. And then he also hosts like professional games. I forget which ones, but like I've seen him like, on like basketball, like NBA games. He'll be out there and he'll host the competition.
Like Utah Jazz stuff.
Utah Jazz, yeah. It's crazy. Like, and he hams it up. He's just so good.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. He's definitely someone worth following. And so Rob hosted that. So then after that party was over, we had the after party for that, which was DJ Scooter and myself DJing with the special surprise guest, a Fat Man Scoop in between the two of us. So. I knew about it the night before ADMC was playing, and Jan I leaned into me and he's like, hey, it's like, you can't tell anybody, but Scoop's coming tomorrow. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, So it was cool. I worked with Scoop before. It's been a long time. Scooter's worked with Scoop a lot recently. Like I worked with him back in the 2000s at some clubs in Pittsburgh that brought him in. But Scoop, first of all, Scoop's like a super down to earth dude, like real good people. And he, and he puts on like a hell of a performance. Like he literally like sounds just identical, all these years later, like Be Faithful. Like it literally just sounds the way it did 20 years ago.
That's just how he talks.
Yeah, dude. But it was so cool being it. So it was like 100 people there. So he literally just gets in the middle of the room, and there's just a circle of 100 people around him, and he's just in the middle of the circle. And he's a pretty tall guy too. It is just like it was something you'd never experienced like that. Usually Scoop's on like a stage, and there's 1,000 people there or more, and it was a unique setting, and it was really fun. So Scooter played, and then Scoop went on in between the two, Scooter and me, and then I went on afterwards.